Distinguished panelists on the stage and distinguished participants here. I got slightly delayed, for which I lost the position of a chair and now come down to a panelist. I'll just briefly talk about one area which I look after, which is I'm a mission leader for the CCTNS project in the country. Now, this crime and criminal tracking network system, which we are implementing all over the country, involves networking all the police stations and the higher officers up to the DG level, as well as the home departments in the country. Now, it's at a very advanced level of implementation currently. Now, there are certain areas which, in fact, I think are lessons learned for us, and probably also should be lessons learned for others too. To start with, we went in for bespoke application development rather than going for a off-the-shelf customized software. Now, that's something which a lot of thought went into, and we went in for it. And currently, we realize that there is a little bit of an element of truth that we should have also evaluated what's available as COTS. That's one lesson learned. Second lesson learned is that we depended fairly extensively on the states to do the project. We felt that based on the previous lessons learned, we should have centralized planning and decentralized implementation. We vouched for it that it should be done that way. And we do have major delays for which we're still facing answers from not only from the Parliament, standing committees and other areas like press and so on and so forth, is why do procurement processes take more than a year, couple of years also. In fact, we have seen in quite a few cases where tenders kept failing repeatedly. States went through the fourth cycle, fifth cycle also floating an RFP. So that is one area. In fact, I think anyone who's going to do a mission mode project in the future would need to really look at. That is the second lesson learned. The third lesson learned actually is with respect to the implementation itself. Now, we had a particular objective in mind that we should be able to complete the entire implementation within, say, 3 years. Now, 3 years became 5 years. This is still in the process of implementation. But what I wanted to say was that setting a very ambitious target, when you're looking at a country like India with different milieu, different cultures, different sets of people working, is definitely not going to be on. If anyone wants to do a project, he also has to look at in terms of what is going to be the evolving technologies. Can you do it within 3 years, or can you do it in 4 years in a very, very, very close fashion? Any optimism or ambition in that process is definitely not called for. Fourth lesson learned. Any project which definitely involves probable changes in technology. For example, when we started, there was absolutely nothing with respect to using the cloud. Now suddenly the cloud is the rage all over now. Now people keep asking me, why are you not using the cloud? I said, look, our application has been developed without the cloud, and by that time the cloud wasn't around. How can you insist now that the cloud should be used? So we will look at it when we really reach a stage when we can start working on the application in a much more larger fashion, and then maybe the version second or the version third, probably the cloud would come in. But definitely we need to look at where exactly the application is going to fit into the technology cycle, and accordingly plan out where we plan to be in the next 3 years or 4 years or 5 years. The last lesson learned would be is that we do have fairly a large number of, minor applications floating around doing some aspects of the whole job. Now, a whole lot of change management is definitely necessary to get people to part with what they think is the best available to shift to something which is coming new. In fact, where there was no application available, change management seemed to have been working. I mean, it seemed to be much more amenable for change. But where some application was working and they had to ditch it and take the system and application, we found huge problems. So I think in the long run, probably participants here who are also probably looking at other mission mode projects or plan a mission mode project for the near future would definitely like to put these lessons learned and themselves plan their own project. Thank you.